Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop, retired meteorologist, and today is Tuesday, December 3rd, and if you haven't been outside, you don't know, but it is cold out there. If you've been outside, you do know it is cold out there. As a matter of fact, this will be the coldest night of this cold snap that's passing across our area, and we're going to be dropping down into the 20s across many areas west of the Intracoastal Waterway. Now, let's take a look, first of all, at the satellite imagery. And there you can see we have clear skies across our area this afternoon into the early evening hours. And it's going to remain clear throughout the night. And that's going to allow the temperatures to drop. So let's take a quick peek at that. First of all, across the nation, very cold air continues to cover the eastern two-thirds of the country. A little wedge of warmer air is trying to push up through Texas into Oklahoma and southern Kansas and southwest Missouri. And that actually is going to be sliding eastward toward our area, but it's going to take a couple of days yet to get here. Scheduled delivery around Sunday. Meanwhile, the cold air is going to remain intact across the eastern portion of the country. Let's take a look at our area here. First of all, for tonight, temperatures are going to be dropping down well into the 20s across many areas of Georgia and South Carolina and the northern portions of Florida. Now, this digital forecast from Pivotal Weather showing temperatures in the Savannah area about 31 degrees. Now that's downtown Savannah. At the airport in the western side of the city in the western Chatham County, it could be down into the upper 20s. On the islands in the low to middle 30s, mostly lower 30s to around 33 degrees near the beaches themselves. Even Hilton Head is going to be at or below freezing. But look at Statesboro, 22 degrees there. What about the next night? This is for Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. For Wednesday night, Thursday morning, it's going to be a little bit warmer, less cold. Temperatures in the middle 30s in the Statesboro area, into the middle 40s, low to middle 40s in the greater Savannah, Hilton Head area. And then as we go into Thursday night, Friday morning, we got another surge of cold air coming on in. Not quite as strong, but cold enough. Temperatures in the upper 20s across the inland portions of southeast Georgia and southern South Carolina. A little bit warmer, or a little less, not as cool, across the coastal areas of South Carolina into coastal Georgia. And then as we go into Friday night, Saturday morning, again, the cold air is with us. Temperatures in the middle 20s in the Statesboro region down to Hinesville, Tattnall County into Reedsville and Glenville. Baxley probably down into the upper 20s there as well, around the Jessup area over here. And Savannah, again, right around the freezing mark in the city. We're going to take a closer look at these areas shortly, and into South Carolina, again, in the low to middle 30s. But then that surge out in the west in Texas and Oklahoma starts getting closer to our area, and then for the lows by Sunday night, Monday, or Saturday night, Sunday morning, in the middle 40s to middle 30s in the inland areas. And then as we go into Sunday night, Monday morning, the temperatures, the lows in the mid to upper 40s to lower 50s. So with that being said, let's take a look at what's going to be going on Sunday afternoon. And this is Monday afternoon, actually. Let's go back one and start on Sunday. Middle 60s across the areas for the high on Sunday, and then going into Monday, well, you just had a sneak preview of that. Temperatures around 70 degrees, lower 70s across the southern counties of Georgia. And as we look at the precision forecast, now this is from the National Weather Service office in Charleston, South Carolina. Except for the southern counties, those are coming in from the National Weather Service over in the Jacksonville area. And here we're seeing temperatures in the middle 20s at the Savannah International Airport, 26 degrees. Now here is downtown Savannah, 32. The heat island effect, holding some of that heat in. But the western portions of Chatham County in the mid to upper 20s, 25 perhaps in Bloomingdale near the Ogeechee River. And then in the interior portions of southeastern Georgia, everybody just about in the middle 30s, middle 20s, I wish it was middle 30s, middle 20s across the area, and lower 20s, Milton, 21 degrees there in Jenkins County, and further to this east, over in northeast into South Carolina, we're seeing temperatures there in the low to almost middle 30s, 33 degrees at Spanish Wells, Hilton Head Island at the airport there. Over at Hardyville, over on the inland side, 26 degrees, Bluffton 31 degrees. So yeah, it's going to be cold even in the South Carolina. Not quite as cold as everybody else. But interior portions, further to the north and around Gardens Corner, temperature in the mid 20s there, and also into the lower 20s in around the Hampton County area, Hampton and Hampton County. So it's going to be cold. And then that second surge of cold air comes in for the middle of the week for Friday and Saturday mornings, but then we begin to warm up. And look at the temperatures in the mid 60s on Sunday for the highs we saw, and then the lower 70s to upper 60s for the high on Monday, and going into Monday, we're seeing those temperatures in the 70s. And will it last? Well, let's take a look at this extended forecast. Temperatures expected next week in the 70s, maybe even middle 70s by Thursday and Friday of next week. That's December 12th and 13th. And then it stays mild in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees going into the week before Christmas. And then if we look ahead for the extended outlook right here, my 6-week weather outlook, there we have the above normal temperatures for that next week. And then going into week number 3, going in toward Christmas, the 18th through the 24th, temperatures above the normal. Normal high for this period is 63 for the high, 42 for the low. So we'll be flirting with temperatures in the 70s once again going in toward Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then on the Christmas Day through the end of the year, again, remaining above the normal, continuing into the first week in January, then back to normal around the first full week of the year 2025. The normal high, we're at about the coldest portion of the year. Normal high is 61, normal low is 40. That's in Savannah. You subtract about 3 or 4 degrees west of Interstate 95, particularly around the Statesboro, Hinesville area. The normal high is about 58 degrees. Normal low is about 37 there. But, normal weather conditions is not so bad. Now, with the clear skies, I want to show you something. We've been having a lot of viewing of the sky at night. The sky has been just crystal clear at night. And let me show you this. Have you been noticing a very bright object in the southwestern sky at sunset? That is the planet Venus, and it's called the evening star a lot of times, also known as the goddess of love. And it is shining brilliantly in the southwestern sky at sunset. And over the next several weeks, it'll be getting higher and higher up in the sky. And actually, believe it or not, getting even brighter and brighter. There's Saturn over here in the middle portion of the sky. Let's turn on the constellation so you see where you are. And Saturn in the constellation Aquarius, there's the great square of Pegasus over here. And then as we go further eastward and advance in time during the night, there's another very bright object in the eastern evening sky after sunset. Now that is right here, the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. If you took all the planets besides Jupiter, took them all and put them all together, they still wouldn't equal the mass of Jupiter. You can put over 1,000 Earths within the planet Jupiter. It is that big. And I've been taking pictures of Jupiter and the red spot, that giant red spot. Yeah, that is actually about the size of 2 Earths. Jupiter, the giant red spot, is an ongoing hurricane-like storm. It's been going on for at least 300 years now. And it's there's some indication it might be shrinking a little bit, but it still looks very big to me. So and just beyond that, if you go a couple more hours later into the night to around 11 o'clock at night, over in the eastern sky, you'll see a very bright, ruddy red star. That is the planet Mars. And Mars is getting closer and closer. It'll be getting higher and brighter up in the sky over the next several weeks. So there you have some of the planets up in the sky. And one other thing I want to show you. Over here, one of the most famous constellations up in the winter sky is the constellation Orion the Hunter right over here. And Jupiter and Mars are between the top of Orion the Hunter. And over here near the belt of Orion, and this star here called Alnitak, there is a very famous, and my favorite nebula, that is the Horsehead Nebula. I took a picture of that the last several nights, and yeah, you can see it looks like a head of a horse, and that's actually dust flowing into the in front of the reflection of the nebulosity coming in, being lit by the stars. And not too far away is another nebula right over in here called the Rosette Nebula, because it looks like a big rose. It looks at the Rosette Nebula, And I took a picture of that, as you can see. And let's look at another one way up to the north. Got to go up toward the north portion of the sky. And this one is high up in the north, and it's called the Heart Nebula. Can you see why it's called the Heart Nebula? I took all of these with my telescopes in the Heavenly Backyard Garden, and I have a lot more coming up. The winter months are really fine for astronomical stargazing. Now, we have the Geminid meteor shower coming up in about 10 days, and that in the constellation Gemini. But unfortunately, the moon will be full during that night, so that's going to wash out a lot of the meteors on the Geminid meteor shower. So with that being said, thanks for all those who have been supporting my channel. I appreciate that very, very much. And right now, stay warm. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for tonight, but if you have an outdoor garden like I do, cover things up because milder air is coming in and it's going to hang on for at least 2 or 3 more weeks. So I should be able to, and you should be able to, particularly if you live in the coastal areas, have a fine winter garden with fresh, yummy vegetables like I just had the other night, some fresh broccoli from the garden. Can't beat it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.